It says Waldo and Freddie caught fish one weekend. The dot plot shows the length of the fish they caught. Now, before we do anything to it, we do need to read what they're asking us. So, which statement about the length of the fish caught by Waldo and Freddie appears to be true? So, they're asking for the data for Waldo's fish and the data for Freddie's fish are skewed to the right. So, is that true? Skewed to the right for both of them?
No.
So this, if you look, that's skewed to the left. This one is, who knows what that is?
That one's messed up.
Yeah, that's messed up. So anyways, so it's not skewed to the right, so we know that A is wrong. B is the median length of the fish caught by Waldo is greater than the median length of the fish caught by Freddie. So that means we need to find the median. And median is your middle number. So I could do it from the dot plot, but remember you have to start from the bottom on the left and the top on the right. So bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, top, top, sorry. So that means it's going to be what for Waldo? 19. And let's do the same for the other one. So that's going to be what? The same for Freddie. So the median says it's greater than, so that means that's not true because it's not greater than. Okay, let's look at C. The range of the length of the fish caught by Freddie is greater than the range of the length of the fish caught by Waldo. So the range is for Waldo, you do 21 minus 15, so that's 6. For Freddie is 22 minus 15, so that is 7. So Waldo's is less than. So the range of Freddie is greater than, so that's correct. And if not, then we could just go ahead and look at the other one. The data for Waldo's fish and the data for Freddie's fish are approximately symmetrical. So we know that's not true. So my answer is letter C. Do not do any of the work until you read through the answer choices. And you could actually be solving it as you're going, as you're reading through them. Because if you start finding the mode, the median, the range, and the mean, and you don't need any of that, then you just did a lot of work for nothing. So work smarter, not harder. Okay, so on Friday, we started bar graphs. And with bar graphs, you needed to find percents and compare. So we're going to continue that. Now, on Friday, we did bar graphs that were all going up and down, which is horizontally. Yes, no, I mean vertically. These are going horizontally. Okay, so make sure that you know how to read both types of graphs. So here it says, Molly surveyed the 7th grade students at her school to determine their favorite type of music. So let's go ahead and figure out how much each of them has. So for rock music, it was 45. For rap was 40. For pop was 45. And for country, it was 20. So it says, so we need to also do what with this? Add them all up. So 45 plus 40, that's 85 plus 45, 130 plus 20. So that means we have 150 students were surveyed. Okay, so it says, what percent of students listen to pop music? So because we're looking at pop music, we know it's going to be 45 students out of 150. And since we're looking for percent, we're going to go ahead and put that as 100. Okay, so now all we have to do is what? Cross multiply. So 45 times 100 is 4,500 divided by 150. Oops. Remember, I could cross out 1 0 on the outside and inside because they have, that's what they have in common. So 15 into 45 is 3 times. So that's 45, remainder 0. Bring the 0 down. So that means what? 30 represents what?
30%.
30%. So that means 30% of the students listen to pop music. Okay, let's look at letter B. Letter B says about what percent of students choose rap or country as their favorite type of music. So now they're asking for rap or country. What do we know when we're asked with or? You have to add them. You have to add them. So rap music is 40. Country music is 20. So when you add them up, that becomes 60. So 60 over 150 is equal to x over 100. Now, before I even multiply, I could do that. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and multiply. 6 times 100 is 600. And 600 divided by 15 actually, because I already took away that 0. So how many times does 15 go into 60? 4 times. So that's 60, remainder 0. So that means students listen to rap or country 40% of students, 40% of students listen to rap or country. Any questions so far? No? Okay, so then the last one says, if 300 students vote, how many students would you expect to choose rock then country? So now it says rock then country. So when they're saying then, that means you're comparing them, right? So what do we need to do when we compare? Subtract. So we're going to go ahead and do first what that difference is. So country was 20, rock was 45. So you're subtracting those two. So it's 25. So now we're going with 25 students more for rock over 150. But we're not trying to find percent. We're trying to find what? How many students in 300? So if the difference between rock and country is 25, well, in 300 students, the difference would be what? What would that be? Times 2. So that's your scale factor is times 2. So 25 times 2 is 50. So that means 50 students of 300 will prefer rock over country. So again, be careful with those. Sometimes they'll ask you what percent chose rock then country, and you would find the difference and then find percent. But this one is asking what would be the difference or what would be in 300 students. So don't get those two confused. Okay, so here's another graph. And again, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and find what each bar represents. And then we're going to look at the answer choices. And remember I told you, do not do anything, do not solve until you read all through the answer choices. So here, soccer is, there's favorite student for soccer is 9. For basketball is 8. For tennis is 5. For hockey, it's 2. And for baseball, it is 6. So then we have to add them all up. So 9 plus 8. Plus 5. Plus 2. Plus 6. So that means they asked 30 students. Okay, so now let's go ahead and solve those problems. Okay, so it's asking which statement is best supported by the information in the graph. So the number of people who chose soccer was 1/3 of the total number of favorite sports chosen. So soccer, we know, was what? So 9 out of 30, is that 1/3? No. So we know A is wrong. Because even if you simplify it, this would be 3 out of 10. It's not 1/3. Okay, the number of people who chose tennis was 5% of the total number of favorite sports chosen. So tennis was 5 and 30. So is that 5%? No, it's not, because they're just saying 5 because the number of tennis is 5. So we know B is wrong. Guys, remember, the number up here is not going to give you percents. If it was a circle graph will give you percents. But this is a bar graph. Okay, letter C. The number of people who chose basketball was 20% of the total number of favorite sports. So let's see what basketball was. So 6 out of 30. And I'm going to simplify it. So that's going to be 1 out of 5, right? And because we want to do percent, it's going to be 100%. So how many times does 5 go into 100? 20. So it's times 20. So 1 times 20. So is that 20%?
Yep.
So C, we're thinking C is the answer, but always, always, always check the last one. So the number of people who chose basketball was 1/6 of the total number of favorite chosen. So didn't we just do, oh no, we did baseball. Yeah. Basketball was 8 out of 30. Well, if I simplify it, that's going to be 4 out of 15. So is that 1/6? No. So then my answer is letter C. So when you're working with problems like that, work them as you're reading them, because if you start reading them all and try to solve them all together, then you're going to get mixed up. Actually work them or solve them as you're reading them. Any questions on any of these? So if you have no questions, I do have a worksheet with 6 problems. And you're going to have both types of graphs where you find the percent, compare the percents, and then answer multiple choice questions.